Cisco and third-party integration, Splunk and Azure, Cisco Endpoint AMP, the data. All right, so we've got this VM up and running. We've got the Endpoint AMP client installed. And what we're going to do is generate some traffic. And some might notice the little icon in the bottom that the Endpoint AMP client is a little bit older. Sure, I don't care in this case, right? All I want to do is generate some noise within AMP for endpoints, right? Which is the tool that I'm probably going to use to do most of my analysis day in and day out. But I may want to send this to Splunk as well for long-term retention of data. Also, maybe to leverage some of Splunk's capabilities in generating some interesting reports or data sets, right? So anyways, I'm running a couple of these, getting some noise, right? Firing off some alerts within the AMP for Endpoints console. Once I do that, I'm going to also run a script that I have that'll go out and pull, files down, and it'll generate some additional traffic and noise as well. And again, the whole goal here is really just to make some noise, get it into Splunk, and then so we can look at the data within Splunk itself. We look at history, we can see that we're seeing some things that are being blocked. So that's good, right? Getting rid of the bad. But again, it doesn't matter. It's not about efficacy at this point. It's about really seeing the data within Splunk. All right, so we've got some data. I know we've got data now. Let's just see if it's in Splunk. Now, if you watched the previous video, you probably saw 2 events. We can see now there's 58 events. So let's just do a quick search. And maybe we'll look at hosts, the API, which is the host that's generating the events, and the severity of medium, right? And you can see on the left side, these are selected fields, so host, source, and source type, and then you've got interesting fields, and all of these can be used to parse the data. Now, we could say we want event disposition of malicious, for example. And when we do that, we can see that added to our query. We can then further tune this. But that's really not the goal of this video. This is really about showing you the data itself. Again, you can see computer name, right? I called it compromised PC. You can see the event type. You also see links to device trajectory, right? For example, which is pretty cool because I can actually then pivot right into that. There's the SHA-256. I see the event ID and the severity, the timestamp, etc. So all kinds of good data there available for me to start building out, a report or dashboards. So the good thing is all the data is there. Now it's about leveraging Splunk and creating additional visualizations of the data itself, whether that be a report or other. Pretty cool stuff.